What would you do if a clown came to your door with balloons, flowers, and a gun? It sounds like a scene ripped from a horror movie, but for one Florida family, it was a terrifying reality. On May 26, 1990, in the quiet town of Wellington, Florida, Marlene Warren opened her front door to a clown holding a bouquet of balloons and a gift. What should have been a harmless, even whimsical encounter quickly turned into a nightmare when the clown pulled out a gun and shot Marlene in the face, all while her son watched in horror. For years, the case baffled investigators and haunted the local community. Who was hiding behind the painted face of the killer clown? And what kind of person would commit such a brazen act of violence? Decades would pass before the truth emerged, and when it did, it was more shocking than anyone could have imagined. This is the chilling story of Marlene Warren and Sheila Warren, a case of jealousy, deception, and cold-blooded murder that hid behind a painted smile. It was a sunny Saturday morning on May 26, 1990. Marlene Warren was at home with her son, enjoying what should have been an ordinary day. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. When Marlene opened the door, she was greeted by an unexpected sight. A person dressed in a full clown costume, complete with an orange wig, a red nose, and white face paint. The clown was holding two balloons, one of which read, "You're the greatest," and a basket of flowers. What happened next was beyond comprehension. Marlene smiled, perhaps thinking it was some kind of strange delivery. But as she reached out, the clown pulled a gun from the bouquet and shot her point blank in the face. Marlene collapsed on the doorstep, her son standing nearby, frozen in shock. The clown turned and calmly walked back to a white Chrysler LeBaron, drove off, and vanished. Marlene was rushed to the hospital, clinging to life. But 2 days later, on May 28th, she succumbed to her injuries. The senseless and brutal nature of the crime shook the tight-knit community of Wellington. How could someone commit such an audacious murder in broad daylight, dressed in a costume meant to bring joy, not death? Witnesses described the clown in detail: the orange wig, white gloves, and distinct balloons. However, no one could have predicted how deeply this crime was rooted in betrayal and greed. The clues were there, but it would take nearly 30 years before they were fully pieced together. The police launched an immediate investigation, and suspicion quickly fell on Marlene's husband, Michael Warren. Michael owned a car rental business, and the couple's marriage had been rocky for some time. Investigators uncovered rumors that Michael was having an affair with a woman named Sheila, who worked for him, repossessing cars for his business. But rumors alone weren't enough to make an arrest. The white Chrysler LeBaron, which multiple witnesses saw the clown fleeing in, was a crucial lead. It was quickly traced back to Michael's car dealership. However, the car had been reported stolen weeks before the murder, and the trail went cold. Sheila, Michael's lover, was also questioned, but she denied any involvement, and there wasn't enough solid evidence to connect her to the crime. Despite their suspicions, investigators couldn't prove that Michael or Sheila were directly involved in Marlene's murder. The case quickly stalled, and the Warren family was left with more questions than answers. Over time, the investigation faded from public view, becoming just another unsolved cold case. For decades, the story of Marlene Warren's murder haunted the people of Wellington. The image of a killer disguised as a clown seemed too bizarre to be real, and yet the case remained unsolved, a chilling reminder of a crime that appeared to be as random as it was violent. In the 1990s, DNA testing and forensic science were still in their infancy, and without more physical evidence, it seemed like the person behind the clown mask would never be found. Fast forward to 2014, when advancements in forensic technology allowed cold case investigators to take another look at the evidence. DNA testing had come a long way since 1990, and with fresh eyes and new methods, investigators began to connect the dots that had once seemed impossible to join. The white Chrysler LeBaron was re-examined, along with new leads that pointed to Sheila, now known as Sheila Warren. In a shocking twist, Sheila had married Michael Warren in 2002, 12 years after Marlene's murder. The two had relocated to Virginia, where they ran a successful restaurant together. Sheila had taken on a new life, far removed from the chaos of her past. But investigators were beginning to zero in on her. Forensic evidence from the crime scene was retested, and although much of it had degraded over time, key pieces of the puzzle began to emerge. Eyewitnesses were re-interviewed, and new details surfaced about Sheila Keen's movements in the days leading up to the murder. Investigators learned that a woman matching Sheila's description had been spotted purchasing a clown costume and balloons at a local store just days before Marlene's murder. This connection, combined with growing suspicions about her relationship with Michael Warren, reignited the investigation. In 2017, after years of building a case against her, Sheila Keene Warren was finally arrested in Virginia. She was charged with first-degree murder for the cold-blooded killing of Marlene Warren, 27 years after the crime had been committed. Sheila Keene Warren's arrest shocked the public and sent waves of disbelief through the community. After all, how could a crime committed so brazenly in broad daylight go unsolved for nearly 3 decades? And more chillingly, how had the person responsible managed to build a new life, hiding in plain sight? As the trial date approached, Sheila Keene Warren's defense team argued that the case was built on circumstantial evidence and that no solid forensic proof directly linked her to the murder. They claimed that the passage of time had blurred memories and weakened the reliability of eyewitness testimony. Still, the prosecution remained confident that they had pieced together enough evidence to prove her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. One of the most crucial points in the trial was the testimony about Sheila Keene purchasing the clown costume and balloons, combined with her romantic involvement with Michael Warren. This motive of jealousy and the promise of a new life with Michael made her the perfect suspect. But the trial has faced multiple delays and postponements, and as of today, Sheila Keene Warren remains in custody, awaiting a final verdict. The delay in bringing her to trial has frustrated Marlene Warren's surviving family, who have spent nearly 3 decades waiting for justice to be served. They want closure. They want answers. They want to know why a woman dressed as a clown decided to destroy their lives. Despite the ongoing legal battle, this case stands as a testament to how the wheels of justice can move slowly, sometimes agonizingly so, but they do move. According to the National Institute of Justice, more than 250,000 cold cases remain unsolved in the U.S., with advancements in forensic science solving only a fraction of them. But for the Warren family, Sheila Keene Warren's arrest was a long-awaited step toward justice, even if the outcome remains uncertain. The story of Marlene Warren's murder is one that defies belief. A killer in a clown suit, a marriage built on deception, and a case that would go unsolved for nearly 30 years. It's a reminder that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. The mask worn by the killer that day wasn't just a physical disguise. It was a symbol of the hidden motives and dark secrets that lay beneath the surface. Sheila Keene Warren, if proven guilty, would show us how far jealousy and desire can push someone into committing an unspeakable act of violence. As we reflect on this case, we are left to wonder, how many other secrets are hiding behind masks? How many more unsolved crimes are waiting for the right piece of evidence to bring them into the light? And more disturbingly, how well do we really know the people around us? If you found this story as unsettling as we did, don't forget to subscribe for more chilling real-life crime stories that will leave you questioning humanity. But until next time, remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones who smile right in front of us.